We are less than a week away from the August 3rd trade deadline, and we've seen a couple trades come down, but we are really still waiting to see the action really kick off. The third wildcard spot has made it that so many teams are really in on this race. Each league has 6 teams that aren't in a playoff spot, but are within 5 games of a playoff spot. So that's more than a third of the league. And we're getting to the point where most teams should know what they want to do, but really a lot of teams don't. There are just so many teams in the middle this year that could go either way. So this will be the final one of these videos that are breaking down those teams in the middle and what they should be doing and what their trade deadlines might look like and really what they should look like, at least in my opinion. So go check out the previous 2 parts. A lot of it has held up really well as the deadline has inched closer and closer. And stay tuned with this video, and hopefully I talk about your favorite team. I had the Miami Marlins as pretty clear buyers in my first episode heading into the All-Star break. At one point this season, they were 52-42, 10 games above 500, but now they've lost 3 straight heading into it and 9 straight coming out of the All-Star break. That's a 12-game losing streak. They're below 500 and have 5 teams between them in the final National League wildcard spot, which is really too bad because they were such a fun young team to follow for most of this season. But they've really just stumbled and tripped at the wrong time, and it looks like they might be out of this race at the complete wrong time, right before they were about to get reinforcements. I think they're going to be standing pat at this trade deadline. I doubt they really trade much away because their only pending free agent is the closer, Pete Fairbanks, and he really has not had that good of a season, so there probably is not much demand for him anyways. We might see him get moved, but it looks like Sandy Alcantara will be staying put, and unfortunately the Marlins will not be buyers at this trade deadline. The Detroit Tigers are 51-57 and have now lost 3 of 4. Their playoff odds are right around 25%, which is the 4th best in their own division in the American League Central, and they really might just have no choice but to trade Tarek Skubal. I have no clue what they'll actually do because I can understand the Tigers holding on to him and making a push for the playoffs. It is not often that you get a pitcher like Tarek Skubal on your team where he just really gives you such a good chance to win a single game in some short series in October. He can impact that series so drastically. Being up 1-0 in a playoff series is something teams just have to bet on. So I really would get it if they want to keep Tarek Skubal. But if they don't get into the playoffs and don't re-sign him, which they won't if we're being honest, losing him for a qualifying offer draft pick is just such horrendous business. It kind of feels like lose-lose for the Tigers because they're really not that good of a team, and it's really hard to justify trading one of the best pitchers in baseball. I am not jealous of the people in that front office who have to make that decision. The team currently playing the Tigers in a series is the Baltimore Orioles, and similar to the Tigers, they are probably not sure what they're going to be doing yet at this deadline. Maybe these games will determine what the teams actually do, but the Orioles, speaking for them, they are 10-5 over the last 15, but find themselves still 4 games under 500. And while they've been better lately, the team really just has not been very good. They're above average in offense and pitching, but just such a bad defensive team and not a good base running team. And it's really disappointing for an Orioles team that was kind of supposed to run the American League in the 2020s, but they've been just really not great since getting swept in the American League Division Series after winning 101 games in 2023. Really just never able to get back to that yet. And we might be seeing them look to trade some names like Adley Rutschman and Colton Cowser and even Jackson Holiday. Jeff Passan said they were listening on. So Orioles could be really shaking it up. But they have been playing better, so they still have the middle of the pack farm system, and I would not be surprised to see them kind of force the issue a little bit and try to add. They're very injured as a team. They are just in a tough spot, in a tough division, and they just kind of find themselves stuck in the middle. I think it's mostly likely that they will kind of hold on and see if getting healthy is enough to help them in a weak American League. I doubt we see them really sell, and I doubt we really see them buy. I know it's kind of a disappointing answer, but I think that's just where this team is. They're kind of stuck right now. Another AL team that's struggling right now is the Cleveland Guardians, and they have now lost 6 of 7. They have built a pretty decent cushion in that wildcard race and are a game up of that third wildcard spot and still have the best playoff odds in the American League Central. One of the teams that could benefit the most from buying is this Cleveland Guardians team. Please just add some offense. We do this every single season. You guys always have a top 10 pitching staff with a bottom 5 offense. I think it's so frustrating. You guys should be in on hitters. Anybody who can make your lineup even look just a little bit better, add a little bit of power, add a little bit of base running. You guys will find yourselves in the playoffs again for the 8th time in 11 years with a bullet. The San Diego Padres are coming off a sweep of the Marlins to bring them to 500 and just about 1.5 games out of the final National League wildcard spot. But they are said to be dangling Mason Miller, which would honestly be just so insane, especially considering what they gave up to acquire him this time last year. I really have such a hard time seeing him get dealt. But man, AJ Preller is so unpredictable. The Padres have the worst farm system in baseball, so a chance to kind of rejuvenate that heading into 2027, maybe not a bad idea. Honestly, nothing would surprise me when it comes to the Padres at this deadline because it's still not clear what they should do. Don't be surprised to see the Padres be one of the last teams to really make a decision when it comes to buying or selling. And trust me, I do not want to be the one to tell them what they should do. The Texas Rangers are currently in first place in the American League West, and their season is really going to just come down to whether or not they're confident enough in this team that does have a negative 18 run differential to really help them out and try and hold on to that spot. Danny Jansen and Kyle Higashioka, their catching duo, have both missed time and are both injured, so the Rangers will be in on a lot of catching, I would assume. They're going to be in on bullpen depth, but again, they have a real opportunity. How hard are they going to pursue it, and how hard are they going to go at this deadline? Super interesting. The Rangers could get splashy. It is not often that you get to do a trade deadline while you are in first place. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy the trade deadline. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you did enjoy this video, please give me a like, comment, subscribe. Check out Diamond Centric. Check out my work on J Center, and thank you so much for tuning in.